Hello friends, greetings for the day. Welcome to another tutorial of conditional formatting with me Neeraj Kumar Singh. So today we will be looking at the conditional formatting icon sets where we will be talking about how you can represent your data based on the input provided in the section. Here the data will again let you know, like the previous tutorials, what we have done is to highlight the cells based on multiple conditions, and in fact here it will be a kind of representation depending on certain conditions again. So let's have a quick look on what exactly these icon sets are, and then we'll be looking ahead into the data as well. So if you see here, we have got some certain information where we have got some students name mentioned as student 1 to student 15, and their scores respectively in maths, science and English. Now these scores are quite various, like depending on the different values, it's quite different from each other, which will be quite complicated when you have more than 100 or 1000 students in your database and you would like to highlight some kind of presentation like, okay, these are the people which fall in the first 10 or first 15 or top category. When you have to say, for example, you have to divide it into 3 categories out of 100, then 33 students fall under one category, another 33 fall under another category, and so on. So here the previous two conditions what we looked at, like when you see the conditional formatting here, we got greater than something which you specify, and then you have got something like top bottom rules where you can specify the count. But here we want to represent, the third section is to represent on the screen without any condition that these are the things which are growing up or reducing down or on average scale. So here we don't have to really provide a condition to be given, but we will be just highlighting it so that a user can have a quick look on it and concentrate only on the one which they are interested in. So let's see what exactly we have got here is like data bars, and we have got color scales in today's schedule and icon sets. So these three options, we'll be having a quick look on that, and let's see how we can highlight them. So all you have to do is, when you have certain data like this where you need to just maybe for a better representation, I'm expanding it. If you wish to have it less, you can keep it as you want it. So what I'm doing is just extending a bit so that you can see the variations of the highlights being done, and we'll be just highlighting that. So all you have to do is select the range to which you want to apply, and then come down to conditional formatting, and here you can pick up the data bar. The first option, data bars, are going to fill a background or called as a gradient fill, which will be going from darker to lighter shade. So these shades have different color options like blue, green, red, yellow, and so on. So you can also create your own fills by using more rules at the bottom, which you can always create your custom format as you know already. But let's see what we have got a predefined and what exactly it is used for. So let me select the first option here, blue data bar, and see the reflection on the screen. So now if you see here, if we concentrate on the values, it's quite difficult to differentiate like where is 42, where is 32, how the variations are happening manually, like on when you look at the screen. On the other side, now I have got data bars. It's quite simple and easy for me to replicate or understand and differentiate between the highest and the lowest. So we can see the data bars, which will basically represent the strength of the value out of the highest. So here the full bar will be displayed for the value which is in the range, the highest value. For example, for us here it is 94, which is the highest value. So it's completely full. And based on that value, considering the lowest value as 5, the range or the data bars are being aligned accordingly. So now that makes my job easier to differentiate between the 42 and 34. So you can see that now I can easily make out, okay, these are the medium average values and these are below average values, and so on. So it just makes your job easier when you represent a value where a person don't have to toggle around the values looking on the big sheet of information. Rather, he can quick look at these data bars and have this option here. Now data bars have got two options again. When you look at it, we have got gradient fill, we have got solid fill. Now when you say gradient fill, obviously it goes with a shade where it starts from the left as a darker shade and moving towards the lighter on the right side. The reason is the lighter on the right is by default the numbers will be aligned to right, So the lighter to represent the number, because if it is dark on the right as well, the number won't be visible. But you can also go ahead with a solid fill in the gradient. Let's take an example. Go ahead with this one, and you can see this. It's the same color, but it's having an option of solid fill, where you can see that it's completely filling it instead of having a gradient or shades being followed. So it's a solid fill which follows the color throughout the complete pattern. So now you can see that sometime if you use a darker color, it might not be so professional, and rather the number won't be visible when you look, or quite attractive to represent such kind of things. So to avoid these kind of mistakes, we don't usually have solid fills, but in case you're using a text font with a different variant, like for example the black fill with white text, then it would be fine. But it doesn't matter, sometimes it does not fill completely the thing, what you can see here. So some bars are on the left out, and some bars are completely filled. So I basically don't recommend the solid fill, but to some cases you can use it where you don't have the number to be represented as the first visit of a person. Rather, the color will represent it was the highest something. So it's not a graph. If you look at horizontally or vertically, it's not going to be a graph bar, or rather it's a representation. So that's from data bars, and that's gradient fill and solid fill. So now let's look at on the other side the color scale. So let me show you on the second option here. That's what color scales are. Now color scales will basically vary from a shade to another shade. So when I look at the first option here, it says green, yellow, and red. So now when you talk about green, yellow, red, so it's starting with green being the highest, moving towards, like when you talk about the rainbow colors, how the shade varies, being lighter and going towards darker again. So it's going to be a 3-color shade which will be varying slightly and slowly towards red, showing the least as the number represented in the cell. So here, if you can see now, when I've applied it, you have the values red. The darkest one in the red is 20, which is the least, and going with the light shades increasing towards lighter as yellow being moderate. And on the dark side again, the darkest green is 99 and 100. You can see that. So these are another different type of representation of numbers, where the number would be visible, plus the background fill will automatically tell you the growth or the linear movement on the numbers on this data sheet. Similarly, you have various other options in color scales as well, like you can opt out for red, yellow, green. That's vice versa of the previous option. Or you can have green, white, red, so different variants. Or if you wish to have 2 colors, you can also do that. You can have just green and white, white or green, green, yellow, yellow or green, or red and pink, or white something. And obviously you have the choice to pick your own colors from more rules. Now the third thing what you have is icon set. So let me just select the third column here to represent what icon sets are. So here, icon sets, you will get a lot of icons available, which you would have either used on your Android phones or something, where you use it and like chatting and other displays. So it's like emoticons which can be used to represent some kind of data values. So we have another sections inside that as well, like directionals, which will be using some arrows. You can have multiple color or single color like this, and shapes again with variant shapes, like just a circle with 3 color, circle, triangle, diamond, and so on. So these are the variants. And then indicators, maybe sometime it might be a kind of information where you want to reflect that these are the things which should be allowed, like tick mark and cross, like don't allow these guys, or these people are below average or something, or needs kinds of attention or something. So you can use these kind of flags or indicators. And ratings can also be used based on the values given, again how the star is being filled. But sometimes it would be complicated to measure the filled area of a star, which would be difficult. Now another important thing here is when you see 3 indicators, like the directional here, and when you come down it's 4, and then you come down it's 5. So how does it get distributed among the cell here is important. So by default, it takes the total value in the sense the number of values starting from the lowest to the highest, for example, the least value is 10 and the highest value is 90, then it takes the count as 80 as the total sum, and saying 80 being divided into 3 in this case, 80 divided into 4 categories like 20, 20, 20, 20 for 4 colors, and 5 again it will be divided into 5 categories to distribute the arrows. So the similar thing applies when you go with any kind of other options based on the count of symbols available. It will be trying to distribute them into that many categories or equivalence partitions, equivalent range, and allocate the symbols accordingly. So it does not have a predefined set of range like 1 to 100, this many values will be used, or it should be divided into 5. It depends on the condition what you pick, or the indicator what you pick from here. So it all depends on you, how would you like to categorize them and represent them. So for example, this examination is between can be scored between 1 to 100. So obviously I would like to reflect something in 3 cases or 4 categories like grading A, B, C, D or something, or maybe just want to show above passing percentage, pass percentage, or below pass percentage or something. So depending on your criteria, you can pick the number of choices available here, either 3, 4 or 5, and you can explain them accordingly. So let's go with this one, and this is how it's going to be displayed, where you can see all the arrows with yellow are representing the average value, the moderate values, green stating that it's good, above the margin or good scores, red showing the third category which is below the moderate or average value. So it's just a computer system, it's just the Excel which tries to distribute it into that many categories and tries to do the same, where it can be represented in either way. So team, today we understood about conditional formatting, where you have understood what exactly the representations of these cells can be and how it can be represented using data bars, using color scales and the indicators. Hope you enjoyed the video and definitely learned something new today. Do comment your queries, doubts, clarifications below so that I can get back to you with more details on the same and get it clarified. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel to get latest updates on the new videos about basic Excels and advanced. To get notified, do not forget to click on the bell icon. Thank you team for watching the video. Happy learning.